With the massive success of RE4 and 5, Capcom decided to go all in on the action-oriented design and pumped out another mainline entry. Yeah, I'm Saggi and I'll be going over the worst parts of Resident Evil 6. RE6 continues the direction of action that stems from RE5 and cranks it to hell. We get more enemies, more set pieces, more QTEs, more explosions, you name it. Since this is where Capcom unapologetically creates an action experience with this title, the gameplay has to be top notch, right? I guess it depends. All characters have a great deal of maneuverability and even special abilities such as Leon's dual wielding, but it's a hay and a needle stack. In the campaign at least, the game doesn't allow its mechanics to shine that well, and you're usually better off just running and gunning. Mercenaries shows you the potential of this game, but it's a fraction of the experience. At times, the game feels like they made Operation Raccoon City 2, or at least used the game as a baseline for what this game could look like. Is it a coincidence that they came out in the same year? Melee makes a return, but for the first time, you can melee enemies on command, and the finishers still do exist. But then you realize the combo enders use stamina. Yes, this game that so desperately wants to create this fast-paced string of gameplay limits your actions. The melee, the slide, and the dodging all cost some amount of stamina and can leave you vulnerable if empty. The game that doesn't even include a single save room wants to limit how much I kick the shit out of zombies. Yeah, okay. And I know someone will bring up the upgrading system, and I honestly don't know why. Upgrading the guns was fun and lets you customize a weapon's performance based on your preferences. Here is just a firearm upgrade, more stamina, no reticle for more damage, no cool exclusive upgrades for guns, just upgrade basic stats ever so slightly. They were in those offices cooking up some shit with this game, and one of those shits was the story mode. The main design philosophy for RE5 and 6 was to outdo their predecessor, and I suppose splitting the campaign into 4 different slices was the best way to create this larger experience in their eyes. The different styles of play per character doesn't make each campaign completely foreign from one another, but the primary identity of the game is fractured the most in this title. It sprinkles the differences throughout each campaign, but lets you know within the same chapter that this is about action, which can cause the game to start feeling repetitive after the first playthrough. As much as I dislike the character swapping in DMC4, it is at least all in a single playthrough. I don't have to play through a needlessly drawn out alternative route, and the characters are actually quite different from one another, other than both lugging around a broadsword. Speaking of lugging around, you know those key items you pick up to progress the game in some way, to open a locked door to an unexplored part of the game? Well, that shit is essentially non-existent. You'll be placed in a controlled environment and made to complete some obligatory task, and you proceed to the next hallway. This also means that there are almost no puzzles. There are times where the game will have you placed in a controlled environment and made to complete some obligatory task, and you proceed to the next hallway. Sound familiar? No exploration, just go forward and that's it. It does, however, allow you to get glimpses of what other characters are doing during their campaign with the very cool story intersection feature, which was squandered on this game and only this game. We're back with another RE4 enhancement, the co-op. Now, RE5's campaign is not unbearable when playing single player, but it isn't an experience that you'd be begging to go back to. This really hasn't changed here. The gameplay problems are persistent whether you're playing single player or not. However, many of the problems in Resi 5 have been alleviated here. You don't need to manage your partner's inventory, and you don't need to feed them ammo constantly from them wasting it all because their rounds are infinite. The AI is not too bad in this one, but this game suffers greatly from not playing with others, making it arguably even worse to play single player than 5. I made a mention earlier about the story intersections, and this feature is golden in my opinion. You play your campaign up until a designated intersection between this campaign and another's. Once you've connected to another player, all of you get to play this specific part of the story sequence together, instead of an AI handling all the work. This feature could work in many different types of games, but it's yet another one of those things that started and ended here. I don't see many people talking about this, but this is borderline terrible. They made another adjustment to the inventory, and it was without a doubt for the worst. RE4 introduced a different, yet familiar attaché case, but it was dialed back in RE5. Here though, they went completely off script. Instead of being able to see your entire stash, you have to roll this carousel wheel around like a dial-up phone. For whatever reason, there's a horizontal and vertical wheel on this shit instead of just being 2 horizontal wheels, or maybe no fucking wheels at all. Then they updated the herbs. I guess Capcom didn't want to show how traditional herbs are ingested, so now you have tablets. Each tablet replenishes your health by 1. In this game, they scrapped the health bar and now you have these pips, so you no longer take a herb to heal up, but multiple. There's no pop 5 at once where you can instantly heal anymore. You have to fill up your hand with a designated amount that you want to heal, then you can heal. And mixing is almost meaningless. You get green and red tablets throughout the game, and mixing green and red just gives you more green. No green plus red mix, just more green. The guns still have a shortcut, thank God, but they managed to butcher it from the last game. You have to select the gun on the shortcut wheel and cycle through your list. Remember in RE5 where you could just press a single direction and have the firearm of your choice? Well, fuck you. That doesn't exist anymore. But what do you think? Maybe you wish the entire campaign played like Mercenaries. Maybe you wish you could have seen some of the more abstract characters reappear, like Ark Thompson. Let me know below. Like and subscribe. I'm Saggi, and I'm also out.